On paper, Alfred Dreyfus was a modest French artillery officer. In reality, they were the scapegoat of a sprawling military cover-up rooted in antisemitism. It begins on a cold January morning at the École Militaire in Paris. On 5 January 1895, a column of soldiers marched onto the parade ground. Captain Alfred Dreyfus, uniform bright, face pale, was led forward. According to contemporary press accounts and witness testimony, the army stripped him of rank before a crowd. His sword was broken, a humiliating ceremony. He was then shipped to Devil's Island in French Guiana. His offense? Passing military secrets to the German embassy. The evidence? A torn note, the bordereau, found in a wastebasket. The consequence? Exile, disgrace, a nation divided. Dreyfus had been born in 1859 into an Alsatian Jewish family, trained at the École Polytechnique, a career artillery officer, loyal and unremarkable in the way soldiers often are. The world in 1894 was anxious. France suffered the shock of the 1870 defeat by Prussia. The Third Republic feared German espionage, and nationalist fervour mixed with a resurgent anti-Semitism. The Army's statistical section, the small counter-espionage unit, kept secret dossiers. According to court records, the trial of December 1894 was closed to the public. Much of the evidence was withheld from Dreyfus's defense. The accusation rested on handwriting analysis and a handful of circumstantial points. Tension rises in 1896. Lieutenant Colonel Georges Picquart, newly placed at the head of the statistical section, started to read correspondence and compare notes. He was a professional. He found the handwriting pointed not to Dreyfus, but to Major Ferdinand Walsin Esterhazy. Picquart reported what he found to his superiors. He was ignored. He was then reassigned to Tunisia. Investigators believed this was deliberate. Silence the inconvenient officer. But what investigators found next would change everything. A clandestine file existed in the Ministry of War, a secret dossier never shown at trial. According to later inquiries, parts of it were forgeries. Major Herbert Joseph Henri, an intelligence officer, produced a document later called the Faux Henri that purported to strengthen the case against Dreyfus. When Picquart kept pushing, Henri's forgery was exposed. Witnesses later testified that Henri himself admitted to manufacturing evidence. On 31st August 1898, Henri was found dead in his cell. Official investigators ruled suicide. The dose of the implausible? Émile Zola, a novelist known for naturalist prose, published an open letter headed J'accuse on January 13, 1898, in L'Aurore, naming generals, accusing the army and government of a judicial murder. He risked imprisonment. He fled to London when convicted of libel. The stakes now were national. Newspapers turned into battlefields. At one end stood the Dreyfusards, intellectuals like Zola, a cluster of liberal lawyers, and Picquart, demanding truth. At the other stood anti-Dreyfusards, monarchists and elements of the Catholic Church and press who insisted the army must not be humiliated. In January 1898, Esterhazy was publicly accused. A hasty military hearing in January found him not guilty. The verdict read like a line in a conspiracy. According to contemporary reports, the press rooms in Paris filled with threats, pamphlets, and anonymous letters. The government shuffled ministers. The army clung to its narrative. By 1999, the retrial reached Rennes. The courtroom was cramped. Court records show the judges were under intense pressure. Dreyfus was again found guilty, though the verdict split opinion and public reaction was explosive. President Émile Loubet ultimately issued a pardon, allowing Dreyfus to return from exile. Many men who had pushed the frame remained powerful. Picquart would later be rehabilitated within the army. Esterhazy disappeared from public life with his reputation intact among some circles. Zola returned to France that had been looted by scandal. The fallout was not merely legal. The affair reconfigured politics, helped create the modern French left and right, and exposed the depths of institutional anti-Semitism in Europe's liberal centers. According to historians, the army's secrecy apparatus preferred a smooth public face over truth. Files were hidden, documents were forged, lives were ruined. In the end, a single torn scrap of paper became a hinge on which a republic turned. A loyal officer was publicly destroyed to protect an institution. The private files that made the lie possible remained the army's last refuge. The question that outlives the headlines is simple and cold. What else will institutions protect by killing a man's reputation and calling it justice?